Tonight on US 7 News, Illinois is starting to prepare for the upcoming winter. Find out what the U of I is doing to get ready.
Plus, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Find out how food drives are alleviating hunger in the local community.
It's been a warm November for Central Illinois this year. See if these high temperatures will be sticking around. Your UI 7 News starts right now.
Journalism teaching studio at the University of Illinois campus, UI 7 News, your U of I news source.
Good evening. I'm Zach Pilecki.
And I'm Kathleen Foley.
The official start of winter is still 36 days away. It comes during one of the warmest autumns in Illinois history.
For the past 7 to 8 weeks, people in Central Illinois have been wearing clothing more suitable for September than mid-November. UI 7's Nina Flores tells us how this warm weather may relate to climate change.
The weather in Champaign-Urbana has been really warm for this time of year. The month of October was the 7th warmest month in Illinois history, and November is off to a warm start too. Data from the Midwestern Regional Climate Center shows November is 11 degrees above average so far. That's true for temperatures across much of the Midwest.
It's a beautiful fall day out here in the quad, and it's unseasonably warm for the month of November. As you can see behind me, there's actually some students wearing nothing but shorts and a t-shirt, and we'll see if this weather is here to stay.
Atmospheric Sciences professor Jeff Frame says that this warm weather has been very unexpected for this time of year.
October was certainly very warm. The first week of November is going to be warm, and actually it's going to warm up again Wednesday, Thursday, back up near 70 on Thursday, before a significant cool down comes in for the weekend.
According to Frame, 2016 might go down as the warmest or second warmest year in recorded history. His explanation for this?
Which really goes back to the early 20th century, maybe the late 19th century. Does climate change play a role in that? Yes, it does.
We'll have to see if these temperatures will stick around for the holidays. In Champaign, Nina Flores, UI 7 News.
There's plenty of sunshine this week in Central Illinois, plus a supermoon.
Let's turn to UI 7's Billy Hatfield live in Urbana for a look at the weather and tonight's Fastcast.
Well, the clear skies we've seen so far this week have been perfect to see the supermoon, which reached its largest viewing size in 68 years around sunrise on Monday morning. Now let's take a look at tonight's Fastcast. We're looking at about 39 degrees with about west-southwest winds coming from 6 miles an hour. These warm temperatures that we're seeing, they're really not going to stick around much longer. I'll be back in a few minutes with the forecast for the week ahead, including the football game this Saturday.
Snow and sleet may not be on the minds of many people, but it is Winter Preparedness Week on campus. UI 7's Lauren Hicks shares how the U of I facilities and services prepares for the chilly season.
The U of I facilities and services is preparing for winter weather. Snow is not here yet, but the crews at FNS are planning for what they need to do. The commitment from workers that come in around the clock when operations for snow removal begin is what Steve Brettweiser appreciates the most. He is confident that workers can keep the campus open and accessible.
It's a vast effort, but it's a challenge that they're up for every year. And everyone comes together and makes sure that campus is well prepared and ready for winter weather.
While some people may not favor the cold, one student, Brian Craig, looks forward to this type of weather all year round.
Snow is fantastic. You only get it so much. Snowballs, snow angels. I love snow.
FNS has more than 170 people involved in snow and ice removal. The department's primary focus is to get the facilities ready and make sure they're in great operating condition. The university has an adequate supply of salts on hand. Its brine solution is used for pre-treatment for roads, sidewalks, and parking lots. Craig drives to student teach at a local high school and says he has never had any problems.
I've never slipped and fallen. Yeah, I think the streets have always been pretty well plowed too. I think they do a good job.
Brettweiser says that the university is ready for anything.
Everybody here, knows their responsibilities and roles, and that when there is a winter weather event that is coming through Champaign-Urbana, that they're ready to handle whatever comes at them.
Illinois IDOT crews are also preparing for winter on interstates and other state highways. In Urbana, Lauren Hicks, UI7 News.
While it's getting chilly outside, some people need help putting chili on their table. Champaign County has the third highest poverty rate in Illinois. According to the Social Impact Research Center, 1 in 4 people live in poverty. Joining us now live is UI7's Jenny Horn to tell us about local efforts to combat hunger.
Every holiday season, many people's thoughts turn to helping others in need. One effort during this time of year is donating food to those who cannot afford special seasonal meals. The community is coming together to alleviate these families in this need this year.
Every year during the holidays, members of the community are asked to donate to food drives sponsored by the Eastern Illinois Food Bank. Development Relations Manager Kristen Costello says that at this time of year, they receive several Thanksgiving-focused donations.
For the folks who can't afford a turkey or can't afford to fill their plates up with Thanksgiving type meals, we do have agencies available in town and throughout our service area that, make things more comfortable for folks who can't necessarily afford those things around the holidays.
Month of Giving food drive manager Paula Blakely is hosting a local food drive so no families go hungry for Thanksgiving.
Well, I think during the holidays, people are really pushed to spend money and take care of other people and to give gifts, but we forget that sometimes to do that, people really struggle at home to make ends meet. And the food drive is just something I think is really appropriate for Thanksgiving.
The Month of Giving food drive is sponsored by the Eastern Illinois Food Bank and is open for donations every day during the month of November.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Farmtown Convenience Store is one of the many local Urbana stores focusing on giving back over this holiday season. However, Costello says there are misconceptions about donating during the holidays.
Despite what many people think, Thanksgiving isn't necessarily the busiest time for our agencies. The summer actually is, but hunger is basically a year-long problem. So really we can use assistance whenever.
The Eastern Illinois Food Drive is able to serve an average of 958,000 individuals a month due to these local food drives. In Urbana, Jenny Horn, UI7 News.
Have you ever had a crime tip that you didn't know how to report? The Champaign County Crime Stoppers have an app for that. Stay tuned after break for more information about this anonymous tip hotline.
And still ahead, the Great American Smokeout comes up later this week. We'll have a report on the U of I's smoking ban and how these will affect Champaign-Urbana residents.
Thursday will bring a push to quit smoking on a campus that's already supposed to be smoke-free. UI7's Chris Kennedy tells us more about the Great American Smokeout and U of I's smoking ban.
Marks the Great American Smokeout, an annual nationwide event to encourage quitting smoking. At U of I, student organization Colleges Against Cancer is leading the efforts against smoking.
That can be in encouraging someone to use that day to quit, just that one day, because that has really positive impacts on their health, or it could be to use that day to kind of make a plan for future long-term cessation of quitting.
Colleges Against Cancer will be stationed here, outside Engineering Hall on Green Street for Thursday's event. They'll have tables set up with educational games and information on how students can become advocates against smoking. One way students are encouraged to advocate is to ask lawmakers for additional smoke-free areas. U of I has been a smoke-free campus since January 2014. Since then, smoking is not permitted on any and all campus-owned property. One of the few places left for smoking on campus is Champaign's Chapel of St. John the Divine. Located at the corner of Wright and Armory, the church has been a safe haven for smokers since the ban. Building and service worker Jan Reevsteck works at the undergraduate library. She says the ban has only made her smoking habit worse.
I feel that I smoke more because when I didn't have a ban and I could go at my leisure, I didn't seem like I needed to smoke as much.
This year, 232 tickets have already been issued for smoking on campus. The first ticket is a warning, followed by nominal fees. U of I police spokesperson Patrick Wade says the ban's goal has always been voluntary compliance.
What it really is trying to get people to change their behavior. And we're asking for a cultural shift on campus with this act, and that's tough to do.
Wade says that the smoke-free campus policy will be a long-term effort. The ban and Thursday's smokeout continue the campaign against smoking on campus. In Urbana, I'm Chris Kennedy, UI7 News.
While it may take time to change the smoking culture on campus, you can now report crimes in an instant on your phone. Today, Champaign County released a free mobile app for tipsters. The new technology makes it easier for citizens to provide information used in solving crimes. UI7's Willie O'Neill tells us why you may want to think twice before downloading the app.
The Champaign County Crime Stoppers are partnering with Texas-based Anderson Software, allowing their community to encourage a relationship between law enforcement and the public to proactively create safer neighborhoods. Jeff Kuhn says that anyone who uses the app will be providing information to catch criminals.
The cornerstone of our program with Champaign County Crime Stoppers is to maintain the tipster's anonymity. We think it'll make the community safer because we think it's going to increase our tips instrumentally.
Downloading the app will allow the community to enter tips to assist local law enforcement in the fight against crime. If your tips lead to an arrest, you could be rewarded. To be eligible, you can call the center at 217-373-TIPS, submit a web tip, or use the free mobile app. Tips via text will no longer be available. Don Coyne thinks any tip they receive is valuable information.
The best part about the app is its simplicity of use and its ease of use for someone.
Crime Stoppers strongly encourages people to download their free mobile app to report any crime incidents that happen in Champaign County. People who use their free mobile app will receive cash, will remain anonymous, and will help keep a safer community.
Kuhn says that they get several tips a day from citizens, now adding attachments of photos and videos.
We've been an organization for 30 years now here in Champaign County, and we've received over 18,000 tips.
To prevent and solve crime, submit anonymous tips to Champaign County Crime Stoppers to help the police departments and a better community. In Champaign, Willie O'Neill, UI7 News.
U of I's Technology Services has recently detected a well-designed email scam targeting the faculty. This phishing scam is attempting to steal NetID passwords by using fake U of I login pages. Technology Services has provided several tips to stop phishing. Primarily, they advise everyone to double-check every email address. Oftentimes, names may be correct, but the actual email is a non-University of Illinois email address. Generally, most companies will not ask for a user to click on a link to log into their website. Be highly suspicious of this before logging in anywhere. Also, users are encouraged to double-check the URL of any web page accessed through a link or email to ensure it is legitimate. And lastly, if anyone receives an email from the University of Illinois and it seems suspicious, do not hesitate to double-check with the Technology Services Help Desk. Chief Communications Officer for UIUC's Technology Services, Brian Mertz, says that this scandal posed more risk than other previous breaches.
This one was problematic because it was really well done, and so we were worried that people might fall for it. So we sounded the alarm about it and did our best to let faculty know this threat was out there.
Technology Services is hoping to solve this problem soon and has stated they will be double-checking for any more breaches.
From stealing your information to stealing your packages, the holiday season is fast approaching and people are clicking away online shopping. However, some people are not getting their items delivered. A press release from the Urbana Police Department says there have been several package thefts throughout November. Many of these thefts happened during daylight hours. The mail carriers included UPS, FedEx, and USPS. The packages were taken from the front porches of homes or the hallways of apartments. The Urbana Police Department is encouraging complexes to collect packages at the front desk rather than leaving them on doorsteps.
The reason that the police department decided to send out a press release was more to let folks know that this was going on because we had a really big problem with this last year. We probably handled, and I don't have the exact figure in hand, we probably had 100 or so of these.
It was quite the beautiful day for mid-November. We'll be right back with a look at your weather for this week.
This November has been one of the warmest on record.
Let's turn to UI7's Billy Hatfield with our weather outlook to see if there will be a change.
Seasonably warm day here in central Illinois. However, we may start to see some of these fall-like temperatures moving forward. Taking a look at the local temperatures, we saw about 50 degrees in Decatur and in Bloomington Normal today, and really stayed pretty consistent across the board. As you can see, we were at 51 in Champaign, Mattoon, and Danville. Now let's looking at the Midwest temperatures. 51 is about the low of the Midwest here in central Illinois. You see up in Ann Arbor, they've got about 53 degrees. Down in Louisville, Kentucky, they got 57. And looking over at Des Moines, Iowa, 59. Now let's take a look at our national temperatures. We got a low of 48 up there in Seattle, or that was the high for the day, the low across the nation. The high over in Phoenix, you see, was 80, so quite a big variation there on the West Coast. Looking at the East Coast, 53 up in Boston, 51 in New York, and 74 down in Miami. Also, all along the East Coast, they may be seeing some rain today, so be on the lookout for that. Now, taking a look at what it was today and tonight, we are seeing about 39 degrees for the low tonight. There's going to be some winds coming from the west-southwest at about 6 miles an hour, so that might make it a little chillier. You may want to put on a jacket. Looking at tomorrow, we're going to see a lot of what we saw today. 64 degrees, clear skies, mild wind, 5 miles an hour coming out of the south-southwest. So it's really going to be a nice, chilly wind coming off of there. And then looking at our 5-day forecast, you can see Wednesday and Thursday are going to be pretty much the same as what we've been seeing, with warm throughout the day, nice sunny skies. On Friday, however, we're going to have a front moving in. That means we're going to have that nice warm part through the morning, but in the afternoon, we may start seeing some rain. And as you can see, it's going to drop to about 35 that night, a drop of almost 30 degrees in that one day. However, that rain's not going to stick around for the football game on Saturday. You can see we're going to have a high of about 43 and a low of about 24. The clouds should stick around through it, but there shouldn't be much rain. On Sunday, you can see it's going to be pretty similar in temperature. However, the sun should be out throughout the day, a high of 42 and a low of 24. All right, like I said, it'll be an interesting weekend for the football team as they'll be seeing some colder temperatures than they've seen anytime else this year.
Thanks, Billy.
Cassie Carlson is here now with UI7 Sports.
Thanks, Zach. Coming up in sports, the Illini men's basketball team looks to continue their undefeated start to their season tonight, and Parkland College is competing for multiple national championship titles. Fighting Illini men's basketball is undefeated after their weekend openers as they look to stay undefeated tonight. After 2 games, one player has already hit a career high. Senior guard Malcolm Hill was named Big Ten Co-Player of the Week after putting up 40 points against Northern Kentucky. Those 40 points were Hill's new career high. He has only hit the 6th player in Illini men's basketball history to score 40 or more points. Hill scored more than 50% of the team's points against Northern Kentucky as they beat them 79-64. He was 4 for 6 from the 3-point range and says that's something he's been working on.
The trust and confidence from my teammates and especially my coaching staff. You know, there's been times where they've been mad that I haven't shot, you know, certain threes that I passed up on. So I think this is just one of those games that it just showed, you know, a lot of the hard work and dedication I put into working on my 3-point shot.
The basketball team plays tonight against McKendree. The Bearcats have started their season 1-0. The Illini women's basketball team looks to go above 500 as they take on Memphis Thursday. After losing an exhibition game and their season opener, the Illini beat University of Arkansas Pine Bluff on Sunday. The Illini shot .407 and 94% from the free throw line against UAPB, leading them to a 12-point victory. Sophomore forward Alex Whittinger led the team with her 5th double-double of her career. Sophomore Jalen Kirkpatrick came off the bench and had 13 points. Head coach Matt Bollant was proud of the 4th quarter play.
Held them to 10% in that 4th quarter. I thought Alex did a really good job on 25. She was having a heck of a game and did a really good job finding her in the 4th quarter and making things tough. And just a lot of different people stepped up. I thought Jalen did a really good job leading, and then Cece had 9 points in the 4th quarter and looked a little more like Cece Rice that we knew and loved last year.
The last home football game for the Illini is this weekend. That means for seniors, it is their last time playing at Memorial Stadium. 24 seniors will be honored before kickoff against Iowa, a team that most recently beat the number 4 ranked Michigan Wolverines. And the Illini's loss against Wisconsin, 3rd-string quarterback Jeff George Jr. started as QB, but after throwing 4 interceptions, he was replaced with 1st-string QB Wes Lunt, who had been out after being injured in their game against Purdue on October 8th. The team lost 3-28. Lunt is one of the seniors to be honored before the game, and head coach Lovie Smith says it is important to recognize the senior class and hopes that they will end their season on a higher note.
You know, the plan was for them to have, for us to have a better record right now, but from what we've gotten from our seniors is what I thought we would get. You know, good leadership. They show up each day. They've allowed us to coach them, wanted to be coached throughout. That's why it's so important that we rise up and play our best ball. Where we are right now, can't do much about what's happened in the past, but we can play our best ball this week, and we're going to do everything possible to see that happens.
The Illini are a 10-point underdog going into Saturday. Fighting Illini volleyball is on a 7-game losing streak going into their last 2 home games this week. After falling to 2 of the top 3 ranked teams this weekend, they look to end the streak against Maryland and Ohio State. Number 3 ranked Wisconsin beat up on the Illini in straight sets on Friday. Senior middle blocker Katie Static had a .462 hitting percentage, and sophomore setter Jordan Poulter surpassed 1,000 assists on the season. That still wasn't enough to stop the attack of the Badgers. Then on Saturday, the 2nd-ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers came in and swept the Illini also. Both outside hitters Michelle Strezak and Jacqueline Quaid had 15 kills. The Illini sit at 7-9 in Big Ten play and host Maryland on Friday and Ohio State on Saturday. Parkland College is busy at nationals. The Cobras volleyball team, who is ranked first in NJCAA Division II volleyball, head to West Virginia for the end of the season national tournament. The defending NJCAA champions look to defend their title this year. In the 2016 season, they are the Midwest Athletic Conference champions with a 48-2 record. Parkland's men's and women's soccer teams are also contending for national titles. The teams have both won their conferences this season. The men's team is in Texas, where they defended San Jacinto last night 2-1. They take on Cloud County tomorrow in their next pool play game. The semifinals are on Friday and finals are on Saturday. The women's team is playing Moraine Valley Community College in their first game at nationals today. Their next pool play game will be tomorrow against Paradise Valley, Arizona. If the MWAC champions continue to the semis and finals, those will take place on Friday and Saturday as well. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
New movie Patriots Day came out this week. Let's take a look at this all-star squad in today's Hollywood Minute.
They say 500,000 people watched the Boston Marathon here in New England.
Hey, you behaving yourself?
Here's your first look at the Boston Marathon bombing drama, Patriots Day. It's the latest real-life action drama teaming Mark Wahlberg with director Peter Berg after Lone Survivor and Deepwater Horizon. Michelle Monaghan, John Goodman, Kevin Bacon, and J.K. Simmons co-star. Patriots Day opens December 21st.
The work is just starting, but it's incredibly exciting.
J.J. Abrams is headed to Broadway. The Star Wars and Star Trek director is producing his first Broadway show, a British import with an unlikely title, The Play That Goes Wrong. It's a comedy about an amateur drama company struggling to put on a show. Previews begin March 9th. Harry Potter fans get to return to J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World this Friday, so it's no surprise the popular author's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is dominating online buzz. Media measurement firm ComScore says the film was the subject of 98,000 social media conversations last week. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which generated more than 68,000 new conversations, doesn't open for a month. But hey, it's Star Wars. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
People magazine has named Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson 2016 Sexiest Man Alive. Johnson, a former wrestler turned Hollywood A-lister, is currently starring in the HBO series Ballers and the upcoming Disney movie Moana. Johnson is feeling the fame. He told People magazine that he felt he pretty much reached the pinnacle. Not only is The Rock officially the most attractive man in America, his bank account is pretty hot too. He raked in $64.5 million, bringing him to the top of Forbes' 2016 highest paid actors list. And you know, I guess they lost my submission in the mail for People's Sexiest Man Alive. I don't know what happens.
There's probably some huge Hollywood bias playing out here, because I don't know how you didn't win. It's just...
Maybe it's because we're in the Midwest. Or, you know,
yeah, you
little
know,
Champaign or band like...
California, they want right out of...
They want movie stars. They don't want,
exactly. They
want
want
UI7 anchors.
Yeah, no, not the most attractive people, realistically. But, you know, just whoever's going to get their publicity up, you know.
I mean...
It's fine. It's understandable.
Zach, are you a Rock fan?
Of course. I mean, I love Ballers, you know, all 2 seasons that there have been so far. And I didn't know he was doing this new movie, but I might have to go check it out.
I agree too. But also just to check out other things this weekend, football is at home for their last home game of the season against Iowa. Should be an interesting game, seeing as though they just upset Michigan. So we'll see what happens there on Saturday.
All right, that wraps up tonight's edition of UI7 News. Thanks for joining us.
We're heading into our Thanksgiving break Friday. We'll be back on November 29th. There's also another edition of UI7 News this Thursday night.
Stay bubbly, Champaign. Good night.